Okay, Chavra, good morning, beautiful minion. Today is the 22nd day of Teves. Another cold day out there, warm day inside. On a Wednesday morning, page 74 in Chayenu, we're going to conclude chapter 14, and we're going to try to come up with an innovative idea, lest you thought that you couldn't reach the level of a tzaddik. Ooh. So in today's lesson, although transformation of the negative character traits versus continuously fighting them. That's what a Beinoni does, continuously fights them. A tzaddik transforms the negative character traits. He doesn't have to battle this all the time. Is unique to the tzaddik, not the Beinoni. Nonetheless, even the Beinoni should endeavor to achieve this state, meaning being repulsed by evil rather than being drawn to it and merely resisting it, grappling with it all the time. And you would think this is impossible, but to some degree, it is possible to achieve. This is the chiddush of the Tanya today, and this is the conclusion of chapter 14. Now we understand the repetitious wording of the shvuah, the promise, the oath that's administered to every single Jew before we're born. To be a tzaddik and not to be a rasha. You could say, how could I be a tzaddik? A tzaddik is such a high level. I can't transform my wicked. I'm always going to struggle with it. So now we see that you could fulfill that promise. At first glance, it seems puzzling because we already know I'm not going to reach the level of a tzaddik. And right after he says this promise to be a tzaddik, he right away has to say, and not be a rasha. Why? Just focus on your promise and fulfill it, and that's it. Why do you have to also say, I'm not going to be a rasha? Okay, we know that not everybody is zeicha, not everyone's privileged to be completely righteous and to completely destroy their negative character traits and their negative desires. And nor has a person the full advantage of choice in this matter. Okay, we still have to deal with it. To delight in only Hashem, in truth. That the evil within him, any desires that are opposite the will of Hashem, are disgusting, that he's despised, he's disgusted by them, and he despises them. And therefore, right after we say, I promise I'm going to be a tzaddik, we also have to say, Al Tiyeh Rasha, I'll go upon him. We also have to say it. At least I'm not going to be a rasha. I promise to be a tzaddik, but at least I'm not going to be a rasha. So even if a person is not privileged to become a tzaddik, he should at the very least not be a rasha, instead be this Beinoni that's constantly speaking, thinking, and acting like a tzaddik. This is within the grasp of every single person. We have the choice to do right or wrong, pick good or evil. To person has the ability to control the spirit of lust in his heart and to conquer his evil nature, so that he won't be wicked even for a moment throughout his lifetime. When you're a kid, you have time to practice. You become bar mitzvah. From that moment on, you focus every ounce of your energy towards Hashem. Yes, you may have the struggles. Maybe you don't want to get up today. It's vacation day, yeshiva week. I get to sleep in. No, you fight it off, and you come to minyan, and you daven, and you do everything that Hashem wants you to do, even on vacation. This applies both in the realm of turning away from evil, not doing something bad, and doing good. Make sure not to bypass any mitzvah opportunities, and especially the mitzvah of Torah study, which is specifically termed good, because there's no good, ain't Torah v'la Torah. Torah is the truth of good and holiness and connecting to Hashem. The Hainu Talmud Torah shekeneged kulam. This is what it means that the Torah balances, meaning is equal to all the other mitzvahs combined. So the Alter Rebbe goes on to state that everyone should strive to emulate the tzaddik service. Although he may never actually reach the rank of tzaddik, but chevra, it's well within our reach to reach some level that we could at least incorporate be a tzaddik to the best of our abilities. Don't worry about the other guy. Don't worry about, how great that tzaddik is. But the question is, have you done all you can to reach your fullest potential? Maybe the biggest insult to parents when they have kids in school is when the teacher or the principal tells them, kid is misbehaving, but he has so much potential. That means whenever they say he reached his fullest potential, he's exceeding our expectations, he's reached the goals that we set for him. It's unbelievable. Maybe he'll even skip a grade next year. He's doing so well. That's like amazing nachas. But when and even if a kid is not great, but like, by the way, that kid started off C's, D's, whatever. Now he's getting B pluses, he's getting Aleph minuses, whatever it is. We could tell he's really struggling hard. He's not going to be at the top of the class. That's fine. But he's reaching his potential. But when you don't reach your potential, and you could, concentrate during davening, be on time, say the words, concentrate on what they mean, do an extra mitzvah, make sure, I can't believe I didn't give tzedakah yesterday. It's just a coin in the box. Make sure to do it. Every day, we only have a certain amount of mitzvahs that we can do. You ate, you didn't bench. You ran to watch the show, the thing, and then you didn't bench. Nevertheless, so a person, just like we said yesterday, the Alter Rebbe suggested that you talk to yourself. Remind yourself to stay away from the evil. Remind yourself that you could do better. So remind yourself that these things should disgust you. The things that are not lined up with what the Eibishter wants. Kigoyin, for example, the advice of the sages, when a person has a lust for a woman in his heart, he should reflect on the words of the sages that this particular woman that's trying to get his attention is something that we should rush away from in our eyes, in our mind, in our heart, and consider it a terrible thing to do. So too, anything when it comes to gluttony, all dainties and delicacies, similarly become a vessel full of waste. Anything that's trying to get you and to whether it's food, whether it's certain smells, whether it's things that we shouldn't watch and things that we shouldn't see and things that we shouldn't think about, things that we shouldn't say, we should consider themselves disgusting to us. And they ultimately rot and become worms and refuse. So in this way, ultimately what happens to them once they get expelled from our bodies? They're disgusting, they get flushed down the toilet. So think about them then and don't get caught up in these worldly pleasures. And the opposite is that one should train himself and talk to himself to delight and rejoice in Hashem by reflecting to the best of his ability on the greatness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He may well know that he will not attain this level of loathing evil and delighting in Hashem. Maybe he's not going to reach this level. This is the level of a tzaddik. Maybe he could only imagine it, but just imagine it. That's what an imagination is all about. You explore things. When I buy a lottery ticket, I don't know what you guys do. When I buy a lottery, Steve Cops is in a different category, but when you buy a lottery ticket, I don't necessarily think about the winnings. I just buy it for, like, when I buy it, I already won because my mind takes me somewhere else. I buy the dream. So you might not be the winner of the $1 million lottery. Maybe it's only 50,000, but you could still dream about it. So maybe you're not going to reach the level of a tzaddik, but you could still dream about it. What would it look like if you were on the level of a tzaddik? Being disgusted with evil. By the way, here the Tanya gives an example of a woman. It's just like the marshal of the king who hires a woman to come and seduce his son. And the queen is in on, I'm sorry, the woman is in on the setup. So she doesn't want the king, the prince, to succumb to her attempts. But she has to try to fulfill the mission of the king. So here we bring the case of a woman, but for a woman, it could be something else. It could be a man. It could be, there's plenty of other explanations. So we should try to, like we buy that lottery ticket every day. Hashem chose us from all the other nations. We won the lottery. So now imagine what you would do with those winnings. Maybe I won't reach the level of a tzaddik, but let me at least imagine what it would be like, even if it's for a fleeting moment. So he could at least uphold this oath that he was administered before he came down into this earth to be a tzaddik. And Hashem will do as he sees fits, whether to grant him the level of a tzaddik or not. I'm going to try to imagine that I'm a tzaddik, meaning I'm going to think of everything throughout the day that whatever Hashem wants me to do, I'm going to be his messenger and I'm going to serve him. And then whatever Hashem decides, that's up to him, whether I reach that level or not. But I'm going to put in my effort. And furthermore, emulating the tzaddik and loathing evil and delighting in Hashem produces another benefit for the Beinoni. What's this benefit? It becomes a habit. You're just imagining, you're just pretending every single day. Okay, today I'm going to focus 100%. I'm not going to let any evil get into my mind. Not just during davening, but throughout the rest of the day. I'm going to be careful what I look at. I'm going to be careful what I think. That's what I was saying. Then it becomes a habit. Maybe you still struggle a little bit, but it becomes habitual that every single day you're trying to reach that level. You're imagining that you're on the level of a tzaddik. And when you convince yourself over and over and over, it becomes a habit, then it becomes truthful, it becomes part of you. When he accustoms himself to rejoicing in Hashem through reflecting on Hashem's greatness, when we do our effort down here, Hashem responds in kind. When a person does and puts in this effort, perhaps after all this effort of his, the spirit, the ruach from above will ascend upon him. And now he will be on the level of a tzaddik, but it's only going to happen if you put in the effort. And Hashem will grant him with that soul level of ruach originating in the soul of some tzaddikim, and will be impregnated in him so that he may serve Hashem with true joy. A lot of times you see a guy, we even have in the Gemara plenty of cases where a guy started off as a highway robber, Reish Lakish, I think, and different ones. And later on, they became the Gedolei Adar. How did that happen? They said, you know what? I'm done with this evil. I'm done messing around. I'm going to put in all my energy and focus to serving Hashem, learning Torah, Talmud Torah Keneged Kulam. That's the real emes. And then Hashem's, okay, I see you did your part. Now I'm going to give you the level of a tzaddik. Fake it till you make it. Keep on imagining, keep on talking to yourself, keep convincing yourself. Simchut tzadikim Hashem. Rejoice, O tzadikim in Hashem. That's not just talking about just the tzaddik. It's talking about the ones who want to be a tzaddik, who are striving to become a tzaddik. And in this way, the oath charging him to be a tzaddik will truly be fulfilled. We won't be considered, we took an oath and we didn't fulfill it. We have to put in every effort and Hashem will do his part. So the takeaway is all that Hashem expects of you is to control what's in your control. Not what's the level of a tzaddik. What can you do? And if you put in that effort, all you have to do is just do it. Always do acts of goodness. Don't act evil. And take time out to think about the lowliness of this evil, to think about rejoicing in serving Hashem And then Taka Hashem will do his part and help you step up your game to the higher level of the tzaddik. Have a great day. See you.